The most important similarity between communism, Nazism, political Shintoism and Mohammedanism was that these ideologies made plans about ruling all of mankind. Nowadays many jihadists, not only in the greater Middle East but also in the USA and in Western Europe, including the UK, still embrace that kind of plans. Now the natural enemy of those types of ideologies are those nations, or should I say peoples, that have a we the people kind of constitution. The American people in November 2024 has mandated the Trump administration to revitalize that spirit. One of Winston Churchill's most inspiring quotes is, "Study history, study history. In history lies all the secrets of statecraft." It would be wise of politicians in the 21st century to follow that advice from the greatest statesman ever and at least study the history of the last 1.5 centuries. As I describe in my ebook about the origins of Turkey, titled IS, the Kurds and the Caliphate, Mohammedan extremists played a much more important role than usually reported in escalating the war that started with that murder in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip in those horrible summer months 111 years ago. For centuries, since 1565 to be more precise, the Ottoman Empire had been in decline. Now the murderer of that Archduke was a young man who was a member of an organization nicknamed the Black Hand, a name now more known through comics and children's books. But how extreme this terrorist organization really was can be deduced from its official name, Union or Death, Serbian Unity. This organization had not engaged with the Hungarian Austrian Empire itself, but had engaged with that sick occupant of Europe, the Ottoman Empire, in 1912, with success. Let that sink in. In November 1914, Sultan and Caliph Mehmed VI declared holy war. In Arab language, take note, all Muslims worldwide were called upon to participate in the holy war against Russia, France and Great Britain. Now this call was not very successful, but the so-called Khilafat movement under the leadership of that famous Mr. Gandhi was more successful. Forming a united front with the Mohammedans a few years later became very explicitly the highest goal of this man. The movement wanted the restoration of the Caliphate, suggesting that it was ended by the British, when in reality both Sultanate and Caliphate were abolished by the new Turkish nationalists under the leadership of the Atatürk. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Social Democrats formed a decent anti-communist force. One of its leaders in that time edited a book containing classified and decoded German documents related to the start of World War I. I'm talking about German Karl Kautsky. His book does not only provide the text of the document, but does include comments in the margin of the Emperor of Germany, Wilhelm II. His ambassador in Constantinople in 1914 wrote many telegrams to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of his country about the rising tensions in that so-called July crisis. He had candid conversations in that period with Pallavicini, the ambassador of Austria-Hungary. Now telegram number 354 contains this very revealing remarks. I'll quote. "Yesterday, the Grand Vizier, Talal Bey and Enver Pasha," take note, these are 3 of the 4 or 5 most powerful men of the Ottoman Empire in that time, unanimously told my Austrian colleague that for Austria now the last moment has come where it could compensate for the losses suffered by the Balkan Wars and restore his reputation as great power among the peoples of the Balkans and Turkey. Not only Bulgaria but Romania and Turkey as well would choose unreservedly the side of the Triple Alliance, that was Germany, Austria, Hungary and Italy by that time, when Austria serves Serbia an appropriate lesson.